It's JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs Unleashed. Have not made a video in many weeks now. It's been, wow, probably 2 months. It's been a while. Um, I've been living my life one day at a time. Anyway, a few weeks ago, I had an incident. I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and that's what I want to talk about today in this video. It was kind of bad. I can't make light of it. My heart stopped. I had a cardiac arrest, and I have the device in me right here by my heart. It's a defibrillator. I had it put in 7 years ago, October 18, 2013. I had it put in Singapore. It was put in because they diagnosed my heart, and it was weak at the time. And they said, well, it could get weaker, and you could, go into cardiac arrest, and we're going to put this inside of you. Because I work for the government, and when you're overseas for the government, they really worry. When you're in the States, they don't really care as much. If you die in the United States, they could just, say, oh, well, that's just life. But if you die overseas, that's kind of a bigger deal. So they want you to live while you're overseas. So they put this in me. And hasn't had to, it's been working the whole 7 years, but it hasn't had to do its job, which is to shock you. So what happens is that you ever see those shows where somebody, flat lines, and then they have the, when they shock them back into life. That's basically what this is inside of you, which is great because you don't have to worry about people getting those things and doing it. It'll do it for you. You have that in you, which is fantastic, especially when you get older. People, get weak hearts or whatever. So, so it had not worked in 7 years, and all of a sudden it just had to work, and it did. It did its job. A little fucked up. I don't really know. I kind of know why. I don't know. I don't know exactly. You can't pinpoint the exact reason why. Doctors are always like, well, drinking has a negative effect on your heart. Drinking affects people differently. Some people expect their liver, their kidneys. Me, I guess it affects my heart more than anything else. And I've always been drinking beer. I never really drank the hard stuff. So I see people drink way more than me. So I'm sometimes, but I guess I just have the body that alcohol, any kind of alcohol, affects my heart, and it has for years. And when this happened, when I got this put in 2013, I came back to the States, and I got a position here for the government, and I really cut back a lot of my drinking because I was back here and I had things to do, and I trained for some triathlons, and I did triathlon 2014 and the same one in 2015. I was in great shape. I got back into shape, and I was really not drinking that much at all. And I was drinking sporadically here and there, but not really on a regular basis. 2016, I went back overseas to Iceland, and Iceland's got a big drinking culture. And I did, the weather was terrible a lot of times, and I really couldn't. I did go to the pool, and I swam in the pool, tried to keep in shape, and I tried to get back into running. That didn't happen. Tried to get bicycle riding. That didn't happen. So the pool was really my only exercise. You can go to a pool year round in Iceland. The pools are great. It was an Olympic pool, so it was great. I could swim in there pretty much a few times a week, which I did. So but I did drink my fair share there, but still held down a job and didn't, let it get in the way of my my job or anything like that, or my life. And I drank, enough, I guess, in those 3 years, but always stayed in shape, and kept, monitoring this. And I went to a doctor there who was really good, who gave me good meds, I guess. So nothing really affected me my whole time there, and I was in pretty good, health when I left. I came back here, And again, here was good. Here was I've been here for over a year now, probably a year and a few months. And I'd say the first few months were okay. I live near bars around here. It's a good going out atmosphere here, and so I do walk the bars here, and I don't have to drive. So when you don't drive and you walk to watering holes, you could drink more and just find your way, stumbling home, whatever. And since this pandemic started, I really haven't had much to do. Work was like, you don't have to come into work. You could just, you know, log in online, which I did in the morning sometimes. Sometimes I didn't log in at all. And, your life kind of took a turn where you were bored. So you get some beers, put them in the fridge. Next thing you know, you're drinking. You're kind of hitting it kind of hard. So I was doing that for a while, bored, nothing else to do. No girlfriends, and when I spent time with my daughter, I didn't partake in that. But when I'm not with her, I'm alone and bored, and the bars that were open, you know, go to happy hour. So I don't know. I was, like I said, hitting it kind of hard, and you know, that's not good at my age. The older you get, the more it affects you, I guess. And you know, what they had said back in 2013 came true. It's like, well, you got to watch out you're drinking. And I did. And I was pretty much, when I wasn't drinking, I was in great shape. And when I did drink and hit it kind of hard, you know, I was in worse shape probably with my heart. And my heart has been getting better and worse since 2013. And now it's I thought it was pretty good, but I'm sure these last couple months of this, the virus going on, the pandemic, and me drinking probably more than I have in a while has affected it. So yeah, I drank one night, pretty good, pretty fair amount of alcohol. Beer though, only beer, but again, it's alcohol. So I had a lot of beers, and then I woke up the next day and I got to the pool, the Olympic pool, which is a few miles away, and I swam for an hour. So I'm sure my heart's not, really was probably not liking the night of drinking to excess than the uh, working out and strenuous going, an hour straight, laps back and forth. So probably not the best thing to do for your heart. Then I went to my daughter's. I went to pick up my daughter, bring her to a softball practice, and I was, outside of the field. There was a fence, and I'm watching the practice along with some other people. I'm talking to this guy whose daughter was on the field too. So I'm just talking to him, and then I'm doing something on my phone, and it was really odd. I'm looking at a website on my phone, and all of a sudden, I look up, and it was a weird feeling. It was a feeling like, I remember the feeling too. It was it was a feeling I never felt before in my life, and I hope I never feel again. It was a feeling of like lights out, it's over, like a feeling of nothingness, not existing. It's like you fall asleep. Like, when you're asleep, you don't exist. You kind of like, you don't know where the time goes. I was asleep for 8 hours. It seemed like I was asleep. Those kind of things. Sometimes you'll sleep for an hour and you think it's 8 hours. Sometimes you sleep for 8 hours and you think it's an hour. Those kind of things. Like time, you miss time, and that's what I felt happened. It was just like boom. It hit me like a. And what happened was my heart had stopped. I found that out later on, and then I remember just being like for a split second in a daze, and then suddenly I am on the ground and I hear, "Are you okay? Are you okay? You fell. Are you okay?" And then I looked up and there's people surrounding me, like watching me, and there's a few guys, and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah. Well, why? I'm okay. I'm fine." And then I realized I was on the ground, and I'm like, "What am I doing on the ground?" And these guys are all asking me how I feel, and I'm like, "I'm fine." And they said, "Can you get up?" I said, "Yeah," and I had no idea, and I just know I was weak, and I got up, and then they're like, "Oh, come over here and sit on this chair over here." So I sat on the chair one of them had, and yeah, they gave me some water, and then a lady who was there said, "I used to be a nurse. That wasn't right. That the way you fell, that wasn't right. I'm gonna call the ambulance." And I'm like, okay, because at that point I was a little worried. I was like, I never had dehydration. I don't know why I passed out. That doesn't make sense. I never passed out in my life. So I'm gonna call the paramedics. They came. They put me on a stretcher. My daughter was on the field and she didn't see any of it. She didn't see me fall. She just saw me on the chair. Like she saw me standing by the fence, and then I guess the next time she looked, I was on the chair because I was only like when I passed out, I was only out for like 15 seconds. They said so. Um, she didn't see any of that, which is good. Then I'm making jokes with the paramedics, like, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm fine." I don't think they thought I was fine, and they checked my heart and they said, "Oh, you gotta." I said, "I've always had an irregular heartbeat, but it was really irregular on that day." So they said, "We think you should go to the hospital." I said, "Okay." I guess I was open to whatever they told me at that point, and so I left my car there, and somebody said they were going to drive my daughter home. So I was like, "Okay, as long as she's okay, and can my car sit here?" They go, "Yeah, it's gonna be safe. Nobody comes in this, whatever." And it ended up being safe. So, but I uh, I end up going to the hospital, and I got checked in, and they did some tests. And the next day, the following day, somebody came from the company that does this, and they put a monitor on to read the device, and they go, "Oh yeah, it stopped. It worked yesterday. Your heart stopped." And I'm like, "Wow." And they said, "But it pumped you, a few seconds. So when I passed out, my heart stopped. And normally you feel like a very big pain, like when it shocks you. But I didn't feel that. I passed out, and then it shocked me. So the people who saw me fall, and they said I was having like spasms, but that wasn't spasms of. It was just the heart, the device shocking my heart back into gear. I get a rhythm. So yeah, that's a fucked up thing. So I was in hospital for a couple of days. The food sucks. The people are nice. I'm gonna say the nurses do everything. The doctors are like rock stars. They come in, they talk to you. They don't give you any specific answers. It's just, well, I said, but I stopped drinking. They go, well, that can't hurt. It's like, is that the problem? If I stop drinking all together, would that be good for my heart? Like, can I live another 20 years? And I said, well, yeah, possibly. But it's like, give me a specific answer. Say, but I don't know if they want me to keep living a bad lifestyle so they can keep pushing drugs on me or what. I think it seems to me like the doctors nowadays are just pushing drugs on you. I don't want to do my job. I'll push drugs on you. So you can just do the drugs and I don't have to do my job anymore. Just say to me, John, JP, stop drinking. Stop living this lifestyle you're living. You got to clean up your act. You're 55 years old. Just turned 55 actually, a week prior to my accident. So yeah, you're 55 now. It's time to just give it up and grow up. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good wake up call to do that. And yeah, when I dropped drinking a couple of years ago, and I slowed down a lot, I stopped drinking and I slowly got back into it a little bit. And even when I was drinking like sporadically, and I just felt great. I felt much better. And when I did stop drinking, I felt great too. So um, now I'm really I haven't had a drink in over 2.5 weeks, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the way I've been going through this pandemic, I wouldn't go 2.5 days without drinking. So I think it's pretty good. I really don't have any intention of drinking. I really don't have any desire to drink right now because of what happened. Um, I'm a very fucked up alcoholic, if there is such a thing as a non-fucked up alcoholic. Anyway, it's kind of like I'm not addicted to it. Like I don't need it. Like I don't have shakes in the morning if I don't get it. I could be around alcohol in my house and I won't touch it. I don't have to if I don't want to, especially hard alcohol. You can leave a bottle of Jack in my house. I'm not going to drink it. It'll be sitting here for months and months and months until somebody else comes over and drinks it because I'm not going to. we leave a few beers in here. I'll probably end up getting to them, but it's not like I have to have the beer. I just drink because I'm bored. There's nothing else to do, and I like to go out and drink. Go to the bar and meet people. Hey, what's up? Drinking at the bar, just meeting people, having something to eat, meeting people. That's my social scene. Other than that, I don't have a social scene. So it's true. When you're married, you live longer because you don't get involved in that shit. When you're not married, you're probably doing stupid shit like this. So, um, yeah. So I'm really right now. I'm working on not drinking for a few months and doing some tests on my heart. Making sure that doctors do some tests on my heart and tell me how much better it is. And if it's substantially better in 4 months, which is going to be. Hopefully, if I make it that long, I don't want to joke about this. It's not something that you should joke about. But if it's me, I feel I could joke about it because it's me. I was joking about it, and someone said you shouldn't say that. And I said it's about me. It's not about you. If I joke about you, you could tell me not to joke about it. If I'm joking about me, I'm allowed to say whatever the hell I want. So, not that you know. I want to joke about it because it is kind of a serious subject now. I got a young daughter. I want to stay around for her. So, yeah. So, in a few months, I'm going to check my heart and, do some more tests. And I'm going to, really see how it is and pay attention to, what I've been doing to my body these last couple of, every time I drink, I guess, you get too into it sometimes. And you, gotta step back and say, geez, you gotta, take stock of yourself and say, I can't be doing this anymore. Because not only people at my age are not doing this. I mean, I'm not saying no one's doing it. There are, and those are alcoholics, I guess. But I never thought of myself as such. But I guess maybe I do have an issue sometimes to drink to excess when I shouldn't. Going, I call it the 1-2-12. It's like you can go at lunch, you can have a beer, go back to work, no problem. You can go out to lunch and have 2 beers. Then you go back to lunch. But as soon as you go back to work, but as soon as you're out and you have that third beer, that third beer doesn't stop at 3 beers. It goes to 12. It's like it's not going to stop. So it's like you have 1, you're okay. You have 2, you're okay. 3 equals 12 because you're not going to stop. At that point, you're like, I'm here for the duration. I'm not going home. It's like I don't have any plans for the rest of the night. When you have that third beer, you have no plans. You should have no plans going on for the rest of the night. It's like I'm staying here. I'm staying here, and I'm drinking like I'm supposed to drink. Like I don't drink every night, but when I do drink, I drink. I'm not fooling around. When you do something, do it right, and I'm doing it right when I drink. So if I'm not drinking. If I have one at lunch, I'd rather not even have one at lunch. I'd rather have iced tea and go back to work. A Coke or something, or water, go back to work. I don't need to be, getting a little lightheaded. Because then I'm going to, probably be like, what is this feeling? This is not good. You get tired. When you have 3 and you keep going, you're not tired anymore. You get like this second wind, But you have 2. I've never felt so bad when I had 2 beers at lunchtime, and then the rest of the day I'm like, I want to go to bed. I'm like, lying on a couch and work or something. So, my point is that I have to take stock of myself, and I am right now, and I'm not, telling anybody how to live their life, but sometimes if you're listening to my story and you feel, hey, that sounds like me, you might want to take stock of yourself, and because you never know. And I just thank God I have this in me, because if I didn't, I'd be dead. I'd be 6 feet under right now. By the time they got to me, and they did probably try to shock me, I probably would have had brain damage and would have been a vegetable the rest of my life. I think it's just not good what I'm talking about here. And this whole thing is probably pretty depressing, but people die every day, and we're all going to die. None of us here are going to make it through to the other side. We're not. We're all going to die, and it's horrible. We don't know when. We just know we're going to. I hope my when is not for many years in the future, because it's bad. And my father came here last week after it happened. A day after I got back home, he came here and he flew in and he helped me for a week and a half. And Dad, I love you. Thanks for doing that because it's kind of an 81-year-old man has to take care of his 55-year-old son. But these things happen, and I wish I had his genes, but you know, whatever. I wish I had his good genes, and my mother died. I mean, you're 70 in her sleep, so I wish I'll make it that far. The way I'm feeling right now, I'm just more worried than anything else. But I feel pretty good. It's been over 2.5 weeks since I had a drink, and I'm more nervous than I am anything else. But as to what the future may hold, but I'm still kicking. I still got it all going on up here, and this thing, thank God they put it in. The doctors in Singapore, thank you. I don't even know where you guys are now. I don't remember your names, but you put this in 7 years ago, and it works great now. And thank you. Thanks, everybody. I'm here. I got a second chance, kind of. And, you got to look at yourself and say, hey, there's a reason I got a second chance, maybe to do something good. And I want to keep you on the loop about how my life's going, and I'm going to try to help people now, because I've always said I'm going to help people, but I haven't really done shit to help anybody except myself. But I think this might be God's way of saying, hey, I'm going to give you another chance, but you should do something good in your life. Because, I mean, for others, not just yourself. Help people out. Give them your knowledge of the world or something. Just be a positive light in their life. And I think that's what I want to do. Because I want to look back at my life and say I have no regrets. And right now, I still have some regrets. I think the biggest regret is the time I've wasted not doing shit, And I think now I could do shit, and a lot of shit, for the time I have left. Depending on how long that is, of course. But anyway, I'm still here, and I watched my daughter's softball game before, and people are saying, "You feeling good, John?" I said, "Yeah." People who saw me that day, yeah. I'm not telling them that I had a cardiac arrest. They just thought I passed out because I was dehydrated. So let them think that, I guess. I don't want to get into because then they're going to really worry and say, "What the hell are you doing here?" So anyway, that's my podcast for the day. I'll be here again talking about rants or whatever the hell, movies and such. But that's why. Well, even before that, I haven't been on for a few weeks. But ever since that happened, I haven't really had the want to come on here, and because I knew I was going to have to explain myself, and I want to keep you on the loop about my life and what's going on, and current events or what have you. But what's going on in my life, and I had a cardiac arrest, and my heart stopped, and then it shocked me back into life, and I walked away, and I spent a couple of days in the hospital, and I'm just glad. I thank God. Thank God. Thank you, God. That I'm still here. And I'm taking stock of myself, and I think it's a wake-up call, and I think it's a sign to do something productive in my life, and I'll keep you all, like I said, in the loop on that. And thank you for allowing me to spew about my life. And this is JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs. Until next time, ciao.